I'm Brady Berserker.
I'm Big Sexy Brian Bales.
And I'm Metal Matson from Super Geeky Playdate,
a podcast member of the Gonna Geek Network.
Just like the show you're listening to now.
The opinions expressed are those of each individual host.
Check out all the other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
And get ready, because geekiness begins in
3, 2,
1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 293 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, recorded live on Sunday, January 7th, 2018. It's our first show of the new year, and for the first show of the new year, we got everyone. Everyone's in the house.
Weren't you guys on last week? Oh, yeah, but that was New Year's Eve.
That was the last day of the old year.
That's true.
And Naki wasn't here either. Yeah. So not everyone was here.
Not everyone was here.
Old.
My bad. I was really sick.
Excuses.
No, just sick.
I'm not sure we
Just
really want
reasons
to be... I mean, speaking as someone who's been really sick and done the show before, it's not a very fun experience. You pretty much just kind of sit here like,
oh, no.
I want to die.
I just stabbed myself.
What, did she just stab herself?
It's fine.
Is there any blood? Is there any blood? Because this is how we go viral.
No blood.
Well, shit.
Just
If blood had started
falling on my
spurting
feet,
up,
it's fine.
we could
You
have made
see people-
a GIF of it and become famous.
You see, people, we're professionals here. We know what we're doing.
Yep.
That's not true.
Totally know what we're doing.
Yes, we totally
It's ironic.
know. There's a bump for that somewhere, I'm sure, but I don't have it. Sorry.
Probably.
Maybe.
My New Year's resolution is to use less bumps.
Why?
What?
Well, I go
It made it
overboard
seem like I was
occasionally.
here last week.
Yeah, that counts.
No, it didn't.
That counts in your episode tally as Naki being here.
Sweet.
No, it doesn't. The record keeper, don't mark that
Wait,
on there.
Wait, do you really think I keep track of that, Willie? Because that sounds like far too much work for me to want to do.
No, I'm sure somebody's record keeping for something. There's always somebody for anything. Whoever the record keeper is, don't mark that down as Naki was present.
I was here. What are you talking
She
about?
was not here.
I was too.
She was here, as far as I recall. I vaguely remember her saying something like this.
Willie, I think you're just stupid.
I did. That was last week.
Technically, that's every fucking week.
Is
That's
it?
true. That's true. Well, until he goes a week without saying something stupid.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, I vaguely remember hearing that, and I think
hasn't happened yet.
I think Naki chimed in long enough to say this.
Shut your face hole.
I think she said that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I also remember this. I also
Yeah.
I also recall this.
I too remember this happening, and there is no way I would lie to you, Willie. There's no way
Just like
ever
my sex
that I
life.
would
I'm
lie
about
to
to
you.
pull out of here.
No,
No.
I reject that.
I don't care. It happened. Record keeper, put that on the record.
So we don't have an actual record keeper. Do you want the job, Willie? Do you want to be the official record keeper of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast?
You know what? Sure, I'll do it. Let's see how well this gets done.
Do you want to go through the back catalog of now 293 episodes and count attendance points?
Sure, let's see how well this works.
I have-
You
terrible.
want to give me a title?
I have
Go for
great
it.
faith that this is going to be efficient and well done in a quick manner.
I can put it on my resume, right?
Yeah, because you want to
Yeah.
put this resume, this podcast on your resume. Good luck with that.
Nothing terrible will happen to
You're going to
Willie.
go into your interview.
He'll
and they're gonna
definitely get a job.
yeah, you'll go into an interview and
They'll be like,
"Miss-
well, I guess we got to look up this thing. Holy shit, he's talking about pulling out and
Yeah.
not wearing condoms all the damn time. And they keep talking about his dick. I wonder if he has a good looking dick.
Or they'll be like, Mr. Nelson,
We can't hire him, but I wonder.
Mr. Nelson, can you explain what you mean by being pull out Willie? What does this mean? Why does this make you a
means,
target to be hired?
Do you want a metaphor or do you want it straight up?
Hey,
Neither.
that's up to you, Mr. Nelson. You really want this
Are-
job. You're going to have to figure out the right way to answer.
All right, let me give it to you, Paul Abdul style.
2 steps
When I'm-
forward and 1 step back.
No, I was going to say straight up.
Straight up.
Do you really want to? Yeah. Oh, I can't sing it. That's right. God damn it.
It's not fair use.
You're neutering me here, Chris.
I'm neutering you now. You're pull out Willie.
I like to
Why?
sing.
If you're neutered, why are you pull out Willie?
Yeah, these things seem to contradict each other.
Yeah, you can't be.
I
both.
never said I made sense.
If you don't want kids, why don't you get yourself neutered?
Money? Costs money to do that?
It should be covered under your health insurance. You're mad.
And who knows? Maybe I want to sell my sperm for some point in time to get some extra money.
It is true.
Well, then
He could sell.
put some cups in a freezer.
I don't think that's how that works.
Are you sure?
I think we're spending way too much time talking about the subject.
I don't think you just put sperm in like a Tupperware in your freezer and just expect it to keep.
Somebody Google that. Let's find out.
That's your bet. That's what you got.
Yeah, basically.
This is Willie's reproductive future we're talking about. We have to make sure we're careful to ensure there are no more Willies.
Ooh, I didn't think about that. Ooh. Well, hold on a second. Now, if it's for a couple that's already together, would it really be a Willie?
Genetically, it is part yours, but that does not necessarily mean you are a parent. You are a genetic donor, is what I would argue.
I mean, I would like to say it's part genetics, part nurture. I think it's, both of those together.
Yes, just because you're a genetic contributor does not necessarily make you a parent, because there are many people that can attest to the fact that, yeah, this person gave me some of their genes, but I've never met them in my entire life, so I would not consider them a parent.
It's true.
That's deep. That's deep.
Sailor Poland says just keep them in the back by the Otter Pops.
Willie's gonna
What
make
the
pudding
fuck are
pops
Otter
out of it.
Pops? What the fuck are Otter Pops?
He doesn't know what Otter Pops are. He doesn't deserve to be a parent.
What the fuck are Otter Pops?
I don't think he wants to be a parent, in all honesty.
You mean the freeze pops?
I think where you are, they're called freeze pops. Yeah,
Otter Pops. What the? Do you guys even have otters up there?
river otters.
God damn it! Why is it why an Otter Pop?
Because the icon, the mascot for the company was an otter, and the
Okay.
logo was on the ice pop, so they were called Otter Pops.
All right, that makes sense. I'll give you that one. But
It actually had an otter on each of them.
but without that, who the hell would think? Oh, an otter and a popsicle. That's the perfect combination of selling this shit to kids.
Otters are adorable.
That is true. That's why a lot of people like
But-
Benedict Cumberbatch, because he looks like an otter.
But I don't think of popsicles.
Well, maybe you should.
Yeah, I mean, have you learned your lesson now to think about popsicles?
I'm just gonna mute myself right now.
Hey, but they also want to know if you've heard of Goober Grape.
I don't think he would have.
I've never heard.
You don't know what
Goober
Otter
Grape
Pops
either.
are.
I haven't. But then again, I don't like grape.
It's true.
It's a gross flavor.
Grape is delicious.
I only like it in certain
No,
instances.
grapes are delicious. Grape is awful.
The only time I like grape flavored something is grape bubble tape. I don't know why. Grape bubble tape was like the only one that was grape flavored. The things that I liked.
I kind of like
yeah.
grape
Terrible.
soda on occasion. I don't drink soda anymore, but there was a time where it'd be like every
That
couple
grape
months
drink?
I'd be like, I want one. No, like one of the Sam's brand, like the Walmart 25-cent cans of grape soda. For some reason, was just
It's a
Yeah.
nostalgia thing. It's a nostalgia thing. I get it.
Now that I don't like. I do not like that grape flavor. All right, let's go into the fucking news of the week. What the fuck are we talking about here?
Otter Pops and grape drink.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Chris, hit the damn button.
Who's in charge here?
ATGN Studios on the internet. It's the news of the week.
Well, Willie said I had to transition to the news of the week, so I did it. For those of you guys that aren't familiar, the news of the week is that part of the show where we run down, at least what's in our minds, the most interesting, geeky, or nerdy news to have popped up in the last week. And it's going to be fun that Willie's the one that told me to do it when he's got no news.
I mean, I guess we could talk about the thing that's just going to make people angry.
Yeah.
Eh?
Do you want me to start? Is that what you're trying to say, Chris?
Why don't you start us off, Willie Nelson? Start us off.
Let's start. Let me tell you the ways I hate. Was it no? They're all who fucking here. Logan Paul. They're both the damn same. Yeah, Yeah, let's just start chronologically how he's been fucking up recently. So he had a... Just
Anyway,
the ones I'm going
sorry.
to be talking about are recently. How's that?
Is there another douchebag that's of the same level of douchebagginess?
His brother,
PewDiePie.
Jake
Oh,
Paul.
Jesus, yeah.
Oh, so there's two of them.
I mean, I would put PewDiePie above on the human scale of being better.
Yeah, better than at this point. PewDiePie is better than Jake and Logan Paul.
I mean, yeah, because let's just start with what he did earlier this year, or last year, sorry, or later last. You know what I'm saying? A couple months ago. It's all confusing in this time. He pretty much made a song called, what was the title of it? Was it the full title? I Can Ride Your Girl with No Handlebars.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's just say it's stolen from Flowbots of No Handlebars. It pretty much is it. Just lyrics changed to, oh, I can ride your girl with no handlebars. Pretty much saying he's gonna steal your girl, and it's gonna be a-okay. What one of the things that infuriates me is in the video the entire time he's always holding a goddamn handlebar.
Yeah.
Makes no fucking sense. The reason I brought this up though is because the guy was, I don't even remember the guy's name from Flowbots, but he came up with a reaction to it where he pretty much raps and puts him down and is hilarious.
If you have not seen the response video from Flowbots, highly recommend it. Super good. Also, he's been responding to every Jake Paul video or Logan Paul video now.
Ooh.
He did one after this latest event. He did one completely in Japanese. It was super good.
I'll definitely check that out. But I guess let's just jump ahead to what he really fucked up with right at the New Year's. He went to Japan, and let's just say the rest of the video of him just fucking around Japan's really cringy.
Really,
douchey. I'm not even getting to that part, Naki. Not even that part. Just him walking around the damn city.
But he was being super disrespectful to Japanese people in general. Like
he was throwing Pokeballs at people.
Yeah.
And cars.
Yeah. Which
at
is
a police officer.
Yeah.
So he was
racism.
being the stereotypical ugly American abroad.
Basically.
I remember he started out saying, "Let's be really respectful here," and then they instantly go, and all of a sudden his little swipe shot coming, and them coming out in weird ass kimonos, running around yelling.
That's his dumbass idea of a joke.
Racism.
Ding ding ding. Winner winner chicken dinner.
You won.
Yeah,
PUBG.
but then I don't know. I never played it. But let's go to the really fucked up thing he did. What's the name of the forest, Naki? Do you know?
I used
the
to know
actual
it.
name.
Hang on, let me get it.
It's at. Oh shit! What's the mountain? I always get confused with the water. Fiji?
No, it's not.
Fuji.
It's
hang on. The Aokigahara.
Yeah, there you go. I can't pronounce it well. I'm glad you did.
Either way, it's also known as the Suicide Forest. They made movie about it that I will never probably watch.
White people movie.
Yeah.
There's no Japanese people in that movie. Totally makes
At
sense.
all?
There are 3 Japanese people in that movie. Or I'm sorry, there's 3 Asian people in that movie. 2 are Korean and 1 is Chinese.
Well, I'm just guessing they see ghosts there, right? Are the ghosts not Japanese?
No, it's all white people. It's
Wait,
fucking
Naki,
chick from...
hold on a second. You watched it?
No. I watched the review of it.
Oh, okay. That's fair. I'll let you have that one. Yeah, but this motherfucker, they're just making a whole joke of it. Like, hey, let's go to the Suicide Forest. Woohoo, wearing a stupid-ass fucking hat. I don't even know what the fuck this hat's from. It has a little weird alien face thing on it. It's fucking stupid. Long story short, they find a dead body, and they're not subtle about it either. And they film it. It goes on YouTube. Terrible.
So do we want to talk about the how exact, because people are like, man, he found that body on accident. No. First off, they kill them if people do kill themselves in that forest, which is the thing. They go off the path, which means they had to go off the path to find the dead body. Secondly, they laughed throughout the whole thing. They're like, haha, look at this guy, he's a dead body, blah, 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 blah. Got close-ups, all this other stuff. Just disgusting.
I mean, tell me if I'm right or wrong here, Naki. Yeah, you probably know a little bit more than I do. The reason people go do this is so they don't make a mess in their house for people to clean up, so they wouldn't obviously leave a mess on the pathway, so that's why they go further in, right?
It's
Something
a
similar?
shame. Suicide is very shamed.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
So it's a shameful thing. Asian countries, it's not just Japan, have what was called repression issues when it comes to
I give it
emotional problems.
So this guy is pretty much a gigantic douchebag. But the worst part is, this has not stopped him gaining YouTube subscribers at all. It dropped it down to where he's only getting 18,000 in one day, but then it shot right back up to 60,000 a day.
He was up 80,000 according to a news article I read from yesterday, I think is what it was dated, after doing this, which is ridiculous. Come on, people. Why are you... No.
Do not support this shit.
Fucking little kids. You're all horrible little people.
Yeah,
honestly, that's parenting. That's parenting. But I think honestly, YouTube's response of it being like, well, we didn't take it down immediately because it was filmed in a documentary style. YouTube has a terrible vague response, which is typical per YouTube, and it's now going to cause another adpocalypse, therefore causing more YouTubers to go out because they can't afford to continue making YouTube videos. Yeah, I mean, it's bad all the way around. I mean, obviously bad for Americans in general, making us look fucking idiotic, terrible, but hang on, I got a cough.
Yeah, it's a bad look all around. It's typical crap you see from people who want to be internet famous, is do something dumb, and in this case it didn't backfire, which is the sad thing. I really wish there'd been a collective, you sir are a fucking dumbass kind of moment, pardon the language there, and been like, yeah, I don't want anything to do with this, and a mass unsubscribe. People unsubscribe the Fine Brothers in mass because of them wanting to copyright and trademark the React stuff. That's nowhere near as egregious as what happened here, and yet they caught a lot more shit for that. Don't get me wrong, I still think that was a shitty move too, but
it's not on the same level at all. That's like 5 levels above. If not, it's not even on the same level table.
I don't disagree.
It's just, but that kind of remind me, since we're talking about little kids subscribing to, because that's what most of it is, like 10-year-olds, 13-year-olds, all around that probably. And then someone had a game last night at this house, and it was like a would you rather, but kind of more fun. And one of the questions was, I don't even remember the other option. It was like, would you rather blah blah blah, or have 6-year-olds everywhere always trying to attack you everywhere you go? I would be like, I don't want that one, because that gives me just cause to just go around punting little 6-year-olds in the face. I mean, it's just cause they're trying to attack me and kill me, right? So I get to punt them in the face.
Willie, I think you're just stupid.
Oh, come on.
I'm not sure that would work quite that way you think. I don't know if it counts as self-defense if it's someone that technically can't physically hurt you.
They can get knives and stuff. You've seen what's the
you didn't say they were armed. That changes shit.
Well,
I mean,
and also,
if they're in my vicinity and they're trying to attack me and kill me, if they just see me, that means they're going to try and do anything they can.
Question:
So,
do
yes.
people see it when they view you punting a 6-year-old? Would people see the 6-year-old attacking you, or would they just see you attacking a 6-year-old? Because the perception does make a difference.
That's true.
I'm going to fill this question right quick, and I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to, of course, before I'm going to start the just instant punting, I will have video documentation of like this is happening. This is going to be a whole government thing. They're going to do studies and whatnot. But after that, if I'm walking around, then no kids should be around me, because shit's going to go down if it does, and it probably will happen. So people are like, oh, it's that guy. Oh, he's punting. Oh, They were trying to kill him. He knocked him out. Could have killed him. It was self-defense.
By the way, guys, today's episode 293 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, is entitled Willie versus 6-year-olds.
I'm okay with that. I mean, I think I could take out a bunch of them, even if they're swarming me.
Place your bets right now. How many 6-year-olds could Willie Nelson take in a fight?
Before I get too tired, I mean, it takes like one hit to take him out, right?
Depends on the 6-year-old.
That's true. Well, Naki, you had a question.
There are some very large 6-year-olds.
How old's
And
Tim
I've taught
Tom
some
by
tough
now?
6-year-old.
Tim Tom would probably be 7 or 8 now.
Ah, damn.
I'll give it the margin of error.
Okay, so Tim Tom is going to lead these 6-year-olds, Willie.
Oh, I'm okay. I mean, because I don't have to do a full power punch. I can just quarter power it or half power. So I'm keeping a lot of my stamina here.
Tim Tom is leading the assault here, Willie. I don't think you're going to win.
I am picking that motherfucker up by the leg, and I'm just swinging him on all the other ones. And I'm tossing him a good 4 feet taller than me up in the air just for him to hit the pavement on the ground. You know you will love to hear that just thud of flesh meeting pavement.
So,
oh my god, it'll be so glorious.
Anyone who's listening to our show and who is adept at flash animation or anything, please feel free to clip this last 2 minutes and do like an animation of Willie fighting 6-year-olds through the show, and we'll certainly share it on our YouTube channel.
I would love to see someone animate me or just draw me. That'd be awesome. I want to see all of that.
Do you want to be drawn like one of those French girls?
You goddamn right I do. Do I need to take off my shirt for this?
No, keep your shirt on.
No.
In my pants?
No.
Let me just lean over here.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, this backfired. This backfired horribly. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
This is what you've done to us, Chris. Why would you do this?
I'm sorry.
Bachman, I would like to hire you for a commission.
You don't have enough money for that commission.
I tried.
I agree with something that Jackie Cation has used. That it was a tip that her dad gave her for being a comedian. Never say no without a number. So I'm not saying no, but I'm saying you can't afford it.
Man, I don't know. Tax refund season's coming up.
Motherfucker, we're talking lottery money. We're talking 6 figures for me to do that drawing.
Really? 6 figures?
6 figures.
Oh, you give me $20, I'll draw a fucking dick on a guy. I don't give a fuck. Just stand there. I'll fucking draw you. Oh,
yeah, but you don't have any art fucking skills, so that $20 ain't gonna get you much.
I mean, that's why I'm tripling it for you.
Well, while Willie is contemplating his artistic future when it comes to drawing penises on male models, I want to talk to you guys about a security vulnerability that we just found out about this weekend.
Thanks, Chris. This is great.
It affects almost
I did have
everything
one more
out there.
thing to say.
I was trying to get around it. I'm sorry. I tried.
That's all right. I'm just gonna say, Bachman, you don't have a lot to draw down there. That's all I'm letting you know. So it's not that bad.
It's just fur. It's just black scribbles, right?
I mean, I trim it a bit.
Oh God!
I'm
stop.
closed for commissions right now, anyways.
Stop. Let's not talk anymore about this naked Willie commission.
I can't shave it. I'm hairy everywhere
Stop.
else, so a little bald spot there would just look weird.
So this grosses me out, but something that scares me is the fact that we found out about 2 security vulnerabilities in the last week that could potentially ruin your digital life. What do I mean by that? Well, there's a vulnerability that exists in the processor for many of the devices you have, be it your computer, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, any of those things. We found out about 2 bugs or flaws, one called Meltdown, which is limited to Intel processors that have been made since 1995, so 20
and
years.
are in every single computer that the state of Idaho uses.
Yes. Now, the good thing is this Meltdown flaw that's out there supposedly can be fixed via a software update, but early tests, and I have not followed up much yet, have showed that there could be some significant performance hits for some people. Now, those seem to have been over-exaggerated from the initial reports I read, but there is the potential that when you fix the Meltdown issue on Intel processors, you will see a dip in performance. Some people are reporting as much as a 30% dip, but I don't believe all of those sites. So that's problematic. The other issue out there is called Spectre. It affects all manner of modern chips, including processors from AMD and ARM-based chips, which are what we see in smartphones and tablets and things like that. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you probably do have to have malicious code already in place on your computer, but it's another vulnerability. And in today's world, the last thing we want is more vulnerabilities on things. The broad issue is it's hard to exploit, also hard to address, and there's no one solution cure-all likely to fix it all. So it sucks. But you know what else also sucks? When the CEO of Intel sells off a bunch of stock right before this becomes public knowledge. That sure as hell looks shady.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, this was the story I was getting to. Intel CEO Brian Krzanich sold more than $39 million worth of company stock after Intel learned of the fundamental design flaw in its products, but before the general public was made aware. So I'm sure that the SEC is going to be looking into this, particularly...
Isn't that the exact same as insider trading?
Yes, there's concerns there. So, while that's more of what I wanted to build to is the shittiness here that came from that. These flaws are out there. The fact that they remained unknown for so long is kind of surprising. They've done a good job in trying not to expose how to exploit this when putting the patches out there. A lot of the examples that were put out there of how things are exploited, they purposely blacked out a lot of things so you wouldn't figure out how to do it. Yes, it's a big deal in the fact the number of computers that could be exploited, but it's not easy to exploit. Now, depending on who you are and what machines you have right now, patches are already available. Like, for instance, on my Surface tablets, they put out an update 2 days ago that fixes the meltdown issue. Phil Spencer, who heads up the Xbox for Microsoft, said that the Xbox Ones are not impacted by meltdown because of the security infrastructure they've put in place on those machines. So there are ways to work around them. Supposedly, Intel's been aware of this since back in April, is what Sailor Poland was pointing out to me. There's a guy at Google Project Zero that informed them of it back then.
Interesting.
And supposedly, yes, the hardware dip was noticeable if you were working a heavy RAM load. But I haven't gotten to read as much as I want on this. I need to read more on it. But the fact is, there's two fairly big exploits out there that can impact all of your machines. And some of it's not just as simple as update the latest Windows update. Some of it is you have to update your BIOS. And I know a lot of people don't think about updating their BIOS after they get their computers. So keep an eye out there. When you get security updates, download them. I know one of the issues they had with Meltdown was, depending on the third-party antivirus you might be using, it could block that patch because it doesn't play nice with that patch, and they haven't updated the antivirus software to play nice with it. So it's tough out there. There's a few different sites you can go on Google that give you some directives on how to put yourself in a better position. But in the short term, don't go to sites and run links and click on links and download things you wouldn't normally click because, hey, it's another exploit that could be used. From what I can tell, this is not going to impact you unless you've already got malicious code that allows an exploit to take place. So be careful when you watch your porn, everyone. Don't download it.
Oh, I love porn.
Oh,
Well,
I
I
never
don't
know.
know porn anymore.
I mean, let's be honest.
I
most
stream it off
people-
my PlayStation.
Oh, there you go. Just stream it on the PlayStation. You'll be fine there. No one's going to hack that.
I don't know. Who the fuck would want to hack a PlayStation? What benefit would you get?
Your games?
How would they get my games?
I don't know. That's all I got.
Now, I have a question on the stock part, though.
Yes.
Now, I don't understand, like everybody else, how the fucking stock market works with these imaginary numbers. What makes them go up and down? I'll never fucking understand it.
Okay.
But now, the CEO, or that's what he was, right?
Yes, the CEO is Brian Krzanich.
Yeah. So I would assume he would know first before anyone, or you know, he'd be one of the top ones to know. Hey, some shit's about to go down. Are you telling me you're supposed to just sit there and let the bad numbers come in on your money?
Legally,
Isn't there
yes.
like a-
Legally, you have
I mean, there's
to.
a thing called self-preservation that's in your brain that makes you naturally do this.
Yeah, but legally, my
It's not
understanding...
self-preservation to use knowledge that's not publicly available to make money off of your company.
I still don't understand the fucking stock market.
That's because it's all made up bullshit.
Exactly. What makes these numbers go up and down?
Interest
Ninjas?
in companies and buying and selling of the stock itself.
People's interest in the companies. Oh, I like this company. Hey, the stock just went up a penny. What the
Ninjas.
fuck?
Basically, yeah. It's a popularity contest that deals with every factor that can affect that one company. So if something happens to, say, the price of steel, then the stock for Boeing might go up or down because they need that material to build their planes.
You see it in other
And this
things
is
too.
Anthony teaches us about the stock market.
Yeah, I don't want to go political
I
here,
mean,
but here's an
it ain't
example
sticking,
for you.
but-
Is anytime there's a mass shooting or something and people panic, all their guns are going to get taken away, all of the stock prices go up for manufacturers of ammunition and weaponry and things like that.
Yep.
Oh, well. I'll never understand it.
If you want to really learn, there is a crash course on YouTube.
No, I
about
don't.
it. It's really interesting. It is a popularity contest type thing, but statistically, I find it fascinating to watch the trends, not necessarily play the game because I would be terrible at the game. But that's why I've got accountants to do that for me.
You have
But
accountants?
Well, I know accountants.
Yeah.
Therefore, I ask them to help me.
Going back to Brian Krasanich's stock sale, I'm sure the SEC is going to be investigating. Even if there was nothing malicious that was done there, it sure as hell looks not good.
Sketchy.
The public
it
perception
has the
is-
appearance of impropriety.
Yes. Because there are many of these guys that have just automated stuff that's every 3 or 4 quarters or so we're going to sell off X amount of stuff, and it's just something that runs on its own. So assuming this might have been something that was pre-scheduled and just happened, maybe it's not so bad. But if it's more of, oh hell, we're about to get slammed because we've got this this bug that's impacted every processor we've built since 1995, I'm going to dump a bunch of stock, that's shady. Because why is that shady? It's because it means this guy gets out before the market drops on that, whereas me, General Consumer X, hears about it and panics the day that that's announced, and like everyone else, I sell my stock and the price just plummets. So I'm not getting
That
nearly
and
as
him
much.
selling his $39 million worth of stock can cause the stock price to drop, which
Yep.
then screws everybody who owns stock.
That one I do understand.
And this has been Economics Talk with the All Things Good Nerdy podcast.
We know some shit.
We know
Ethical
economics. Hey, I took econ.
Ethical economics.
I took macro and microeconomics in college. I'm an expert. No, I'm not. Don't quote me.
Is that a real word?
Macro
Did you just
and
say
micro.
shit? Did you put a couple words together?
No, they're
Yeah,
actual
those are real
classes.
things.
I took Econ 201 and Econ 202 my final 2 semesters of college. In fact, Econ
Have you used it at all?
No, never. Econ 202 was ridiculous because I was an engineer. I had to take 6 semesters worth of calculus and advanced mathematics, and then they spent a week in Econ 202 discussing the slope of a line because people couldn't understand it. Yeah, that was
The what of a what?
the slope of a line. Rise over run, my friend. Rise over run. So then they could use that to describe trends in economics. And Econ 202 was a class that I walked into my advisor's office near the end of it, and I said, "Hey, Chris," because that was my advisor's name. I said, "So if I get a D in a class, do I still graduate?" He goes, "Well, yeah, are you in danger of that?" I said, "Well, honestly, if I just don't take my Econ 202 final, I get a D." I said, "And it's my only final, and I don't want to do it. I'll be honest." And he laughed at me and goes, "Why don't you just go in there and mark C on everything on the Scantron and take a C on the finals, and then you'll get, what, a B or an A?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, that's a good point." So I literally went in and randomly filled in my Scantron in 10 minutes and handed it in for my Econ 202 final.
What'd you get?
And
What
I
did
got
you
an A
get?
in the class.
There you go.
You hear that, kids? Fuck off a lot and you get A's.
Well,
Well, he didn't fuck off a lot.
I did good
just
on
I
all
don't think
the
that's what the
exams.
story was at
final.
all.
Remember, kids, fuck off a lot and get punted by Willie Nelson and you'll do all right in life.
Econ 202, I
Grow
showed,
out of it.
I had to go to that class because attendance was mandatory, and I found the 3 seats in the classroom where I could hit the Wi-Fi and actually get my laptop connected, and I sat in the back of my Econ 202 class and worked on my senior design project and dicked around on the internet every class period. It was wonderful.
You're a great student and a role model to us all, Chris.
That's a lot of dicking.
I graduated with a 3.3 GPA. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
I did all right.
Beat me.
Naki, careful with the scissors. Remember about 30 minutes ago. Don't you snip at me.
I was pretending to snip my hair, but I just, I will not.
You won't do it. You ain't real.
Huh? No, I've
What?
shaved my my hair is growing back. I don't want to cut my hair off again.
You ain't real. Join the Bald Brotherhood.
No, my hair's
Right.
Bachman left it like a little bitch.
How's that go again, Willie?
You're just fucking angry you can't grow hair on the top of your head.
I can't grow. It's right there. It's just
don't
I'm
believe
lazy
you.
and shaving.
I don't believe you.
Well, I
you
mean,
can see it.
really, all he needs to do is just get a chest hair transplant to the top of his head, and he'd be fine.
I can grow hair.
Sure you can. Sure you can, Willie.
Whatever.
Why do you think I was wearing those beanies like a couple episodes ago? Because I let it get too long and it was weird, and I was like, I'm lazy and I don't want to shave it.
I figured it's because
That's-
you
it
had
was
no
a-
hair and your head was cold.
Yeah.
I got no hair on my head and it's still cold. What do you? I don't have it now.
I can't understand the logic.
Because you don't make any sense.
I'm making perfect sense.
You're breaking him now. He's broken. You
I need
broke
a
the Willie.
6-year-old to punt. I got a
Well,
balcony too. He's going
walk
over
the
that
neighborhood.
railing.
While Willie's
Walk the
looking for a
neighborhood.
6-year-old
Gives you a reason to go
punt,
for walks.
Oh, there goes one.
well, while Willie's looking for a 6-year-old to punt, let's throw things over to Naki for her news.
Can we please not title this "Willie's looking for 6-year-olds"?
It's Willie versus 6-year-olds.
Okay, I'll allow that.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
the wording on that needs to be very
I don't even-
specific.
I don't even know
Looking
what you're about to say, Naki.
Uh,
I don't even want to know.
no, I was just gonna talk about my news of the week. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're still doing that.
Yes, we're still doing that.
The thing I commanded to happen.
So my news of the week is Donnie Yen had a interview where he talked about how he wants better roles for Asians in Hollywood. Just because, so apparently, and I wasn't aware of this, he had changed his role that was in Rogue One. And
Chirrut Imwe. I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. I am one with the Force. The Force is with me.
I apologize. I keep coughing. So apparently his role before, he was not blind. He was just your stereotypical Asian character. And he was like, I'm not going to do it. And so they worked together because they really wanted Donnie Yen to be in this role for obvious reasons. And they worked together with Disney to try and make a more fleshed out role for him. And he got a great role out of Rogue One. And so he was talking in this interview about how he wants better roles for Asian actors, not just your stereotypical roles. And he's like, I understand that I got famous in Hollywood from a stereotypical role, from playing the role of Ip Man. And he didn't do Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2 until they made a role that he was more comfortable in, because I guess his first role was written very poorly. I've never actually seen the second one, so I don't know how that went.
Well, there was a second one.
Mm-hmm. It's on Netflix.
Isn't it a Netflix original?
I think so.
Yeah. I know stuff, some things.
But I thought it was interesting that, somebody else is finally coming out and saying it, that the stereotypes of Asian Hollywood is not okay. And it's a really interesting article. Highly recommend checking it out. I did post it in the show notes, so you can check it out.
Yeah, if you guys want to see that, go to bit.ly/ATGN293. All caps on ATGN.
The Ip Man, Low Life Otaku said in the chat room, there's the third one with Mike Tyson. There's 3. They're actually working on a 4th one as well. But Donnie Yen will no longer be in. He said he will no longer be in it.
What? Then it's not Ip Man.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like where they went with it. He doesn't like the one with the Mike Tyson, but he was contractually obligated to do that one. But
Man,
he's
which
no
actor's
longer
gonna have the balls to step in and try to take over for Donnie Yen in the Ip Man series? Like,
I know who.
that's crazy.
Guys, it's Willie Nelson. It's going to be him
Willie
fighting
Nelson.
6-year-olds on film.
All those Asian 6-year-olds, they need their asses kicked.
okay.
And then the sequels, I'm going to go around the world after that, because you need to have the origin story.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow. So
Well, he's gonna be Yip Man. Yip.
So stepping back a second to the whole...
That's the sound they make as they skip across the pavement.
There you go.
Stepping back a sec to the Logan Paul story there, I don't know if you guys have followed any professional wrestling in a while for Matt Hardy's character, both the broken and woken Matt Hardy. It's kind of become viral.
No.
Go ahead. I know there was a Woken, but I'd heard
The
of
Broken
the Broken.
was in TNA before he moved over, and it became pretty popular for
I don't know
fans.
what the fuck it was all about. But go ahead.
Evidently, he commented on it in his traditional broken fashion. It was pretty funny. And I cannot do the woken Matt Hardy voice. I apologize, but I'll try. And he said, "This rapscallion must repent for his transgressions towards the superlative and reverent people of Japan. If not, he must be sentenced to deletion." Because if you're not familiar, delete, delete, delete became kind of one of the catchphrases of the woken Matt Hardy. And I don't know why that entertained me for some reason. That broken Matt Hardy commented. Look, guys,
Nice.
I still watch pro wrestling
someone
from
did
time to
tell me.
time.
That's all good. Someone did tell me something funny. I have to use it. Logan Paul looks like love child of Donald Trump and Owen Wilson.
Oh,
I can't
feel bad
unsee
for
that.
Owen Wilson.
Doesn't he though? He looks like the mix of both of them.
Well, you could just assume they blended the genes. I don't know if you could have had the sex involved.
Are you
I mean,
picturing sex between those two people?
No, I'm not.
I just feel bad for Owen Wilson in that scenario.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Owen Wilson's not a terrible dude.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying that's what he looks like. Combine
No.
those two, and that's what you get.
and so far, Owen Wilson's not a terrible dude. So far,
Yeah, okay. Point taken.
he's still a guy that's been in Hollywood for more than 5 years. So, we don't know about everybody yet. I bet all the stories haven't come out yet.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They're all awful.
Comment
Everybody's
retracted.
terrible.
Apparently.
Well, I would like to say I haven't molested anybody. Hollywood, if you want to hire me, I got some 6-year-olds that need some kicking.
God damn it, Willie.
I'm really hoping that someone who
promise-
is listening has the talent to create an animated video of Willie fighting 6-year-olds.
And I will also say, I don't have to molest anybody because, as Naki has said on air, I am charming.
I did say that. I have regrets.
Yeah, why did you say that?
Are you denying it? Are you taking it back though?
I'm not taking it back. I just have regrets.
Thank you.
Regrets? Sorry.
Regrets.
Bad commercial.
Ragrets.
See, ladies, I got you.
Well, thank you. While Willie's got you, let's go to our last story with Anthony.
Did any of you guys watch Legion?
No.
Nope.
1.5 episodes, and I was like, I don't get what the fuck's going on.
Man, you guys suck. Legion was one of the best shows of this year, mainly because of the reason that Willie just gave. The character of David Haller is a character who is the son of Charles Xavier, who has split personalities in the comics, and each personality has a separate superpower. So he's a character that's literally insane, and was
So you would
written
say
as
he's
such.
a multiple man.
No, I wouldn't, because there is a character called Multiple Man, you jackass. And one of the things that the show had the balls to do was they did not, like, when you start watching the show, you have no fucking clue what's going on. And they actually had the balls to stick with that throughout the entire first season. It takes you almost the entire show to even get a handle on what's happening with the main characters.
How many
It
episodes are in
is-
the season? Is it like a full 20, or is it like only a half?
No, I think it was 10 or 12. It wasn't a full like 20 count season.
I might
but
give it a
it-
try then.
Yeah, for the writers and the show creator, it was a real ballsy move, because I know for a fact they lost a lot of people watching the show because 4 episodes in and nothing made sense. But I'll try to avoid too many spoilers because they did a big talk about it on the Marvel article I'm reading. But the main bad guy in season 1 and probably season 2 is the Shadow King. And so the Shadow King basically never shows up as himself in season 1. He's a mental projection that's inside other characters, which is why we got some amazing scenes with Aubrey Plaza basically being an evil version of herself dancing around inside David's head. So fantastic, fun show. If you can actually take the time to watch all of it, it's very well worth it. Some amazing set designs. The whole show's set up in kind of a mixed era where you don't know what decade it's taking place in. The superpowers they use on the show are all done really well. And it was a really, really entertaining show. But they have actually... What, Willie?
Is he Patrick Stewart's son? Have they mentioned
No, there's one reference to Prof X in the show, and they never actually show him. So you don't know which Prof X he might be the young one's kid. But yeah, there's no way of knowing which one. But at the end of the season, the Shadow King basically escapes in another character's body, and they have announced that they have actually revealed the actor who will be playing the actual Shadow King. So Farouk will actually be in the new season, and they cast. His name is Farouk, is the Shadow King's real name.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the wrestler Farouk. I was like,
no,
what?
No, the Shadow King is Amal Farouk, is the name of the character who is the Shadow King. He's going to be played by Navid Nigaban from Homeland.
I'm disappointed. It's not Farouk.
The guy's got just a ton of credits. He's been Brothers, Charlie Wilson's War, Homeland, American Sniper. It seems like he's one of those go-to actors for playing basically a terrorist. And, well, Amal Farouk kind of fits the stereotype, so it's a little bit of typecasting, but it's a guy with 120 acting credits. He's been in some fantastic shows and some really good movies. So I'm excited because we're going to get to see the actual Shadow King in his own body. And so, yeah, it's going to be another great season of that show. The first season, it's a tough watch, but it's super entertaining if you can get through it because they didn't pull any punches. They went really far into, excuse me, like the mythos of the character of David Haller. And it's kind of a different version of him. It's not exactly the comic book, but when they kind of let the character cut loose, he's one of those characters that's basically an Omega level power. He has no restrictions because of each split personality having its own superpower. When they're all mixed together, there's basically nothing David Heller can't do. And so there's some scenes in the show where he gets to go just insane and attack people, and he does weird things to them. It's really creepy. Like you find like people stuck in walls, like partially dematerialized and stuff, because he really has no restrictions, and they kind of play with that throughout the show. But yeah, it's getting more great actors on that show, and the actors on the show already are really good. But yeah, I'm excited because the first season was great, and it looks like the next season will be really good as well.
I'm told it's something I really need to watch. The problem I have right now is there's just too much stuff out there. I don't have the bandwidth to pick up another show.
And it's one too. The good thing now is if you can sit and watch all of it, I think it'll be a lot easier for people to digest in a binge because it's such a dense show and there's so much going on. There's literally body swapping. There's multiple personalities. There's personalities taking over other people's bodies. It's a lot going on inside of one show with a lot of characters being introduced all at once. And so watching it week to week was probably also difficult for people to remember what the fuck was happening from the last episode. So now that the first season's done, which it was on Netflix, but I think it got moved to Hulu. I'm not sure.
It is on Hulu now.
Yeah. Is it on Hulu now? Yeah. If you can sit and watch all of it, like if you can take an 8-hour on a Saturday, it's totally worth the watch. But yeah, it's something like you can't be playing a video game or listening to something else at the same time. It's a show you have to pay attention to, or you won't have any fucking clue what's going on. It's really dense. But yeah, it's super well made. The main actors, the showrunner, all great stuff. It might have been the best show. Like it's on par with me with what was it, The Gifted. Like Fox really killed it with their mutant shows last year. The Gifted did some of the best superpowers on television outside of the CW. They did, it's a lot of references to the X-Men, but some of the superpowers they did looked spectacular.
Did you watch The Runaways?
Yeah, I'm caught up again.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, it's a fun show. It seems like it's kind of dragging along with the whole we found out our parents are evil. What are we gonna do? Like it seems like in the comic it kind of jumped to we're gonna actually run away from our parents faster. But I think it's because they're really building up the cast of the parents and trying to make them not so much throwaway characters, making them a little more important.
I'm okay with that because James Marsters is in there.
Yeah, and he's awesome. Yeah, he's awesome as Victor Chase.
Go Spike Ranger.
But yeah, it's a super entertaining show, and it's one of those ones it's making me want to once the first season's done, I'm gonna want to go pick up at least the original Brian K. Vaughan run of the Runaways, because I've never read other than occasional books of them showing up in. I think I read the first 2 issues or something, but I want to read the first at least the first trade now.
Yeah, I haven't read anything like the second or anything. I read that first original story.
I have the first 4 or 5 trades of it, I think, because I got it on a Comixology sale.
Nice.
Definite changes.
But yeah, it's cool because the show's making me want to read the comic, which is always good. Because I mean, like The Gifted, it's no real reference to anything. It's a world like kind of post X-Men where you don't know if the X-Men exist, and you have some X-Men like tertiary characters. Like Blink's on the show. I think the Thunderbird's on the show. It's characters that weren't huge in the X-Men universe, but Polaris is on there, and she's awesome. Then Legion is they did almost a straight take on the comic, but then give it this weird twist. And so that one, I don't think anybody's gonna watch Legion and want to go read the comic just because it's so fucking crazy. But yeah, the Runaways is making me want to go back and read the comic, which is is always a good thing.
Runaways is a fun comic. I totally recommend people go and read it for themselves.
Except for when it gets a little slow there when Cloak and Dagger come in. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, it's a good point. I'm a little
it just
fuzzy.
slows up right there. Actually, it's making me not really care about the Cloak and Dagger show coming out too.
Isn't it out now?
That's the only time I ever read them. It was like, these characters seem boring.
No, I don't know if that one's out or not. It's supposed to be on ABC Family.
It's
or
not
whatever,
out yet.
I don't know. I
don't know when it comes out. I don't care.
Freeform.
That could.
From what I read of the characters in the Runaways comic, I don't really care about those characters.
Fair enough. Well, guys,
I don't care about the show.
That does wrap up the news of the week. We made it. Congratulations.
We did it, guys.
Yay.
And when we wrap up the news of the week, that's that moment we like to remind folks that the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast is, in fact, part of a network of shows that you can find over at GonnaGeekNetwork.com. There are 20-plus different podcasts out there that cover a variety of topics. You've got shows like us that cover just general nerd culture, geek culture, and we bitch and moan about things. Then you've got things that are specific to certain television shows. We have a show about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a show about Arrow. There is a variety of all sorts of geeky podcasts over on the Gonna Geek Network. And each week we like to highlight one specific show and say, hey, maybe you guys should go check that one out. And Willie, what show are we talking about this week?
I'm talking about the Operational Pug Podcast. Pugcast, episode 51, the 4K cast. Sorry, I came in like a wrecking ball in there. We bid hello to 2018 and goodbye to Connect while collecting all the Ks. Also, Assassin's Creed Origins review, why you should or shouldn't panic, CPU vulnerabilities. And, of course, some more spoilerly talk about The Last Jedi. Back to you, Chris.
It's the 4K cast, Willie. They're going to talk about 4K televisions, an upgrade you were talking about. You should go check it out.
Yeah, I just don't know how big I'm going to get it.
Oh, how big could you go, I guess, is the question. And yes, I know the phrasing is terrible on that. No one point that out.
Maybe 70 inches.
Oh, man, that's a big screen. I am capped out at 55 inches in my house. I cannot make the screen be any bigger.
42 now. I want to jump. I want to jump big.
So here's one thing to keep in mind, Willie, is that general rule of thumb on a TV is the diagonal width of it. To see it best, you need to sit 2.5 times the diagonal width of it back. Yeah. So whatever the diagonal width is of your...
I don't know, Matt. You tell me this shit.
You're hurting Willie's brain.
70. Do it, Chris.
I like Sailor Poland. Yay, 4K TV. Can't wait to hook up my Super Nintendo to it.
I sit away maybe 8 feet away from it. How's that, Chris?
So funny story, Sailor Poland. I actually play my SNES Classic on my 4K screen, and it doesn't look terrible.
This isn't helping me, Chris.
Well,
do the math for me.
The screen size of 70 inches is not necessarily what the diagonal width of it is, depending.
I thought that's what they measure from the diagonal.
I don't remember.
But okay, let's just say whatever measurement it is, it would be 70.
Yeah, so
whatever you're trying to say.
Yeah, the measurement should be the diagonal.
Yeah, 140 is 2 times. Then half of it is 35, so you need to sit 175 inches back from it.
Oh God, what's that in feet? I can't do the conversion. Chris, Jesus Christ, why'd you not do this?
Willie, I'm gonna let you think for a second.
Don't Google it. Tell me. Oh God, what'd you say? 100 and what?
175.
175 inches.
Oh, my brain.
It is roughly 14 and a half feet.
14 and a half feet.
I don't know if that's right. I don't know.
Well, that's all the way to my fridge over there.
Yeah, you said you sit 8 feet back, so you'd have to double how far back you're supposed to sit.
I don't fucking care. I'm gonna sit right there. I'm gonna enjoy the fuck out of it. You ain't damn thing you can do.
The
with
bigger
that.
thing you'll enjoy more is not necessarily 4K, but is HDR. Because HDR
that's what
is
I'm going to
pretty.
go.
I'm playing Assassin's Creed Origins, and it's in HDR, 4K HDR. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
But what about them bugs?
I haven't had a ton of issues with it. That being said, I haven't gotten to play a ton of Assassin's Creed because I got distracted by things like, I don't know, South Park Stick of Truth.
Yeah, how was Assassin's Creed on the Switch?
It's not on the Switch.
I know, because it can't handle it.
I see what you did. Who cares? I got an Xbox to play the things the Switch won't handle.
Well, you should have a PlayStation.
So, guys, this is also
Or
that point of the show
Spider-Man.
where we do a little bit called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and nerdy things we've been getting into, so that maybe, just maybe, you'll want to check them out. And I'll go first because I've already sort of started on that. Still dabbling in Assassin's Creed Origins. I replayed South Park The Stick of Truth because I got a copy of it for free with the Fractured Butthole, and it gave me new achievements, so that's part of the reason why I did it, and it was pretty fun. It's still a fun game. It holds up pretty well, but it's not nearly as long as the Fractured Butthole, I realized, because I powered through and got Stick of Truth done in like 10 hours. Or maybe it's just because I knew where everything was, so it made it a lot easier to power through. I'm not sure. But I went back and replayed that. I got stuck on the Mythbusters marathon last week, and then this week I had to go back to work, and I was struggling, and it made me sleepy when I came home. So I didn't get a ton of gaming or things like that put in.
This week was a struggle week for sure.
I was not the only one struggling, thankfully, when I went to work. There was a bunch of people on Wednesday that were just sitting here like, oh my God, why am I back here? This is the worst thing ever.
Do?
Well, I was off
office
for like
workers.
2.5 weeks, and I sit in a cube all day.
Office
I had to
man.
work New Year's Day
Office
at
work
8
is-
a.m. I couldn't enjoy New Year's Eve at all.
I didn't do
I
anything
was
for
sick.
New Year's. Yeah, I was too. What else
Gotta
am I getting
love-
into?
Celebrating with a nice old bucket of vomit. It's great.
Ooh, lovely. So, last thing I was getting into is yesterday was my buddy Ferg's birthday. You guys might remember him from early on. He guest hosted the show a couple times. So we went up to Pittsburgh to go get some cheeseburgers at a place called Burgatory, which was really good, and then went to Dave & Buster's to go be adults and play video games. And I ended up spending most of my time playing a Star Trek game where I was trying to push tokens off an edge, and it was strangely addictive. I probably spent like $30 playing that game, and I don't know why, but I was addicted. It's bad news, guys.
I understand. I get it.
I do too.
Yeah.
But that's what I've been getting into. Hey, Naki, what have you been getting into?
I spent most of this week coughing my lungs out. But hang on.
Did they go back in?
They will go back in at some point.
Somewhat. At some point, they'll come back in. Thursday was game night, so we played Mansions of Madness, the newest expansion, The Streets of Arkham. That is really fucking hard. If you guys are board gamers and you play the Mansions of Madness series, which my buddy who runs our game nights, he's got every expansion available, and in the app and everything like that. But the Streets of Arkham, like, we lost terribly. Like, we didn't even get close. So it's the fact that they keep expanding this universe and they keep adding it to the app and everything like that. It's really cool. But yeah, that was Thursday, and then yesterday was my friend's birthday, and we went to the Logan Arcade, which is in the city.
Oh God, that
And,
name again.
Sorry, it's called Logan Hardware.
Oh God,
But
again.
anyways, it's in Logan. It's in Logan Square. Sorry. Anyways, we went to the arcade. I got third place in Turtles in Time battles because that was my favorite Ninja Turtle game. I played the shit out of that as a child, and the fact that they had a cabinet for it means that I had to play
Turtles in Time's battles.
that. Okay, so you can battle for the top score in the cabinets, and I did, and I got third place. So, being Leonardo, who is the best turtle, fight me, bitches.
Michelangelo.
Oh, Donatello.
I thought you would have been a Raphael man.
Mm-mm.
Well, obviously that's gonna be Chris.
I can be
So,
rude and angry all by
anyways.
myself.
I mean, we all know I'm the
Donnie's
party
the smart
guy here.
one. Donnie's the smart one.
That I restate my statement.
Anyways, continuing. Then we did. So all of our group of friends, like we play this game called Street Fighter Puzzle Fighter, which is like Tetris with Street Fighter, and we battled at that for like 3 hours, where we all just kept going head to head against each other. My friend Crystal kicks all of our asses. She literally can blink and win because she leaves zero room for error. But it is a game that you can download onto your phone. So guess who's practicing, bitches?
I'm going to guess
people
you.
in it or just computer.
Yeah, yes, you can play against people.
What you tell me the app on the after show, and I will download.
It's just called Puzzle Fighter.
We're gonna. You have to. Is it purchase? You have to purchase or free to play?
It's free to play, but there is microtransactions.
Oh, we're gonna fight.
I see.
I'll treat you. I'm gonna take you down like you a 6-year-old.
I was going to say, Naki's not a 6-year-old. You can't fight her.
Well, it's over the internet. Everyone's a 6-year-old.
Okay, point taken.
Yeah, that's true. Other than that, boyfriend and I started playing Portal 2 with each other, the co-op version, because I've never actually played a Portal game. I know, bad nerd.
The cake is a lie.
It's all right. I don't like puzzle games myself like that.
Actually, I think this one's a lot of fun, and playing with him has been pretty cool. So that's been fun, and that's what I got. I'm going to go cough now. Bye.
So while Naki's coughing, we're going to say, hey, Bachman, what you been getting into, sir?
All kinds of stuff. I'm behind Willie by a whopping $1 million on the frickin' Fantasy Movie League. He just barely jumped into second place. But yeah, me, Willie, and Lobster are doing a big fight for the lead in the Fantasy Movie League so far this season. And then I did my first draft for the Danger Room, which I am now leading for the Fantasy Comic Book League, which was awesome. We got our draft done on time, which the Fantasy Comic League expanded and almost doubled its size going into the January 2018 season. So Brian and Sean had a whole lot of shit to handle, but we got it all done. Everybody's drafted. All the teams are ready. Everybody's got their cards going into the first week here, waiting for our points to see what came out on Wednesday. I ended up with a pretty good team. I got Team Magic Booty. I'm starting the season off with Rogue, Kitty Pryde, Dr. Voodoo, and the Jane Foster Thor. So since the No Surrender series is coming out, which is the X-Men versus the Avengers, and with Dr. Voodoo being the new Sorcerer Supreme currently, I'm hoping my team should do well. At least get me a good start off on the start of the season.
You do got that booty.
Yep, got that booty. And then I fucking turned 40 on Friday, which what the fuck? I'm too old for this shit. My buddy took me out. We went and saw a robot competition at one of the local high schools, which was pretty cool. We took his son to go see. It was ones where they build like Erector set robots and they have to like stack cones and do stuff.
That sounds
and it's
great.
competitive against the teams that were there, which is really cool because it's actually middle school and high school kids that are building and programming these robots. So it's kind of cool to see like the type of stuff that kids are doing in school now that's like way beyond what I was doing at that time. So that was fun. We went and did that and then went and had a Chinese buffet for lunch. And then I went and saw my parents last night and my mom made me tacos, which is my favorite thing that she makes because she makes them weird. And they're awesome. And I had like 12 tacos for dinner last night and I have a giant bag of them in the fridge now that I brought home. And then I spent the rest of the day for my birthday finishing up some drawings, including a Mace Windu on a Kickstarter sketch cover. So I had 3 of them done, put those 3 in the mail, and I am now complete with the Jedi Master level. So all I have left are the 7 Sith Lord covers, and my Kickstarter will finally be done. So I'm down to the last 7. Thank God. I just want to finish.
I'm getting reamed for not playing Portal. Sorry.
Yeah, that's some serious geek credit if you haven't played Portal and you don't know that the cake's a lie.
I mean, I know the references to it and everything. I just never. I'm bad at playing video games.
Yeah, that too. I actually after talking while we were having lunch at the Chinese buffet, my buddy was asking about Battle Chasers because he was thinking about buying it, and I had put in like 2 hours on it after I downloaded it I backed it on the Kickstarter, and was showing it to him and his kid and forgot how much fun it was. And so after they left, I put like another 6 hours into the game and I played it again a little more last night, and finally got to where I've unlocked. I found Nolan, the wizard in the game, so I've got different abilities now. And that game is just fun as hell because it's all based on Joe Madureira artwork, and he created this whole crazy world. It's the side scroller fighter with overview maps like an RPG. Really fun game. So yeah, put some time into that. It was actually really, really relaxing. And then I finally watched Blade Runner 2049, which was kind of cool, but I had to restart it 3 times because I kept falling asleep. Like 2 nights in a row. Yeah, it's like a 14-hour movie. Like it's like super fucking long. So I would start it at night, at the end of the night when I was done drawing, and I would start dozing off. It's like, okay, go to bed and get up the next day and start it again. And I had to do that 3 nights before I finally finished it. So
I didn't enjoy 2049. I didn't get it.
It was all right. And I think also part of the problem was I had heard so many reviews of it and like in-depth reviews that I basically knew everything going into it. And so I was basically just watching it to see how pretty it was. And it was definitely pretty. It was damn pretty movie.
It was gorgeous. It's just boring.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, I kind of liked some of the stuff they did. But yeah, at the same time, like I wasn't super intrigued at all. So I was like, At some point, I'll rewatch the original Blade Runner and then maybe watch that again afterwards to kind of have the story fresh in my head.
It doesn't help.
I do like the original.
So we went and saw 2049 on our anniversary weekend, and we saw it at the drive-in because the drive-in by us does 2 for 1. You just pay $10 per person, and then you could see 2 movies.
Oh God, that's an awful one to do on a combo where you're watching 2 films in a row because it's fucking 3 hours long.
Well, the first movie was Kingsman Golden Circle, and we were kind of
at least they woke you up.
Yeah, but like seeing 2049, like first off, we couldn't read the big text that was in the front because we were at the drive-in.
Oh yeah, that would suck.
But then, like just watching the movie, and and we had just watched Blade Runner the night before because I had never seen it, and I thought Blade Runner was kind of okay. Like I was like, okay, cool, we'll go see the sequel. I saw the sequel, and I was like, yeah, I'm not on board with the Blade Runner, and maybe it's just I missed it. Because I didn't see it as a child, so maybe as a child it would have been more intriguing.
That's a big part of it, because Blade Runner is one of those films where it's like the first Alien. All these things that have referenced it for the last 30 years have made it to where if you go back and watch Blade Runner, it doesn't feel original because everybody bites off Blade Runner when it comes to sci-fi and dystopia. And it's because, originally that movie was original as fucking all get out, but everybody's bitten off of it, so fucking now it seems kind of watered down if you watch it today.
Right, and it felt like with 2049 that it just was more of the same instead of reinventing the wheel type thing. Or not reinventing the wheel, but like making it more updated and new and like less. It was still pretty sexist, and I was still just like, it didn't do anything for me. I was like, I mean, I understand that it's a sequel and didn't want to take it too far out of its story, but basically I felt like the sequel was kind of pushed because Harrison Ford's getting older and they didn't want him to die before they made the sequel. And I don't know. It just didn't feel right to me. Like it felt like a rushed story and a long movie.
That's it. I think a lot of people say, I think it's going to be another one of those ones where, because like the first Blade Runner didn't do great in the theaters, but 10 years later, it was a cult classic and people had done in-depth analysis of it, and fucking people realize how fantastic of a film it is. I think it might be another thing where, 10 years from now, 2049 might be considered a much better film.
Maybe.
I enjoyed it. It was fun, and I love seeing Dave Bautista. Just his acting chops have grown so much; it's insane.
Yeah, that's true.
I saw the first, he did a movie straight out of the WWE. I think it was post Guardians 1, or maybe it was even before the first Guardians, but it was him and another wrestler, Rob Van Dam, and it was awful. So seeing that, with a good director, Dave Bautista can act his ass off. Like, he is a talented guy. But it really takes a good director and, a good script. But that dude's acting ability has grown so much. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, he did say for the first Guardians movie, he was like, I knew I had to be better, so I got an acting coach.
Yeah, he's not a dumb guy. Just because he's a big muscle head, he's not stupid.
He did take a lot of hits to the head, though.
It's True.
Yeah, well, he was smart enough to get out before he took too many, apparently. So
You know who else takes a lot of hits to the heads?
Willie.
6-year-olds.
Oh, I knew it was coming. So, Willie, aside from fighting 6-year-olds, what have you been getting into?
Oh God, I've been slaying them left and right. Oh,
6-year-olds or
a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
okay.
Oh.
All right, so what I've been doing? Had a terrible, terrible, terrible New Year's Day. Long work day. Just wanted to go home, and I did. But went to Raleigh last night, which is about an hour and a half away. Hang out with some good friends at a fire pit that was not nowhere near warm enough to keep all your body warm. Whatever wasn't facing the fire was frigid cold, and whatever was facing the fire was extremely boiling hot.
Well, wasn't it supposed to be like in the single digits that night for you guys?
It was in the double digits, just like 12, 14.
Oh, for me, it was -6, you see, so.
Yeah, what do they call this whole thing? A bomb cyclone?
Something like that.
We just call it a cold snap in Chicago.
It wasn't weathermen just making up different fucking bullshit words to try to sound smart.
This is our East Coast. You guys stay off of it. You don't belong here.
I'm just saying, y'all are wimps. I'm sorry. My friend who lives in Florida, she's like, oh my God, it's 30 degrees here. It's so cold. And I'm like, it's -5 outside. The fuck you whining about?
I'm sorry. You got to keep everything relative here.
Yeah,
relatively, you guys are wimps.
You know what? You send 12 6-year-olds at me. We'll see who's wimp.
You're going to lose.
Yeah, but if I send them behind a cold snap, you're going to die.
Tim Tom's going to lead him. You'll lose.
You think those 6-year-olds can survive in that more than I can? I got my thermal on right now.
Shit, I'll
You got your thermal on
pat them
now?
up Christmas Story style. They'll be
This is
coming
a
at you, not
thermal.
being able to put their arms down.
I'm in short sleeves, bitch.
Well, my heat isn't quite working right, so...
Heat's off. I'm in here.
Yeah, but is it warm in there?
No.
God damn it, Naki. Why do you gotta do this? Why are you not a 6-year-old that can just punt anywhere?
Because you like me. Sucker.
I do. God damn it. Stop your giggling, cackling, laughing.
I'll do what I want.
Not you. I'm not talking to you, Chris. I didn't say back to you. Other than that, still been playing a lot of Pokemon, which Naki still has probably yet to touch it since I mentioned it.
I did say that I would pick it up again, though. So...
Yeah, and relative time, how long am I looking at?
It's charging. So that's a first in a couple months.
That's a stage. Now,
10
when
to
we gonna
15
get
years,
to the
Billy.
stage-
10 to 15 years.
God damn, those 6-year-olds are gonna be way old then. But don't worry, there's always new batches.
Because no matter how old Willie gets, those 6-year-olds always stay the same.
They stay the same age.
I wasn't going for the creepy factor of it. It was... Oh, man. That went the wrong way. I'm sorry.
Let's make this less creepy.
Yeah, it did.
Let's make this less creepy. I'm gonna quote Red Foreman here.
Aw, bitch.
That's not what Red Foreman says. Put that shit down. Funko Pops can just go away now. They're done.
Well, then send them to me and shut up. Give me all your pops.
You know what? I'm gonna make a video of me burning them.
That makes you a dumbass. Don't hurt me none.
Yeah, I could just sell them. That's a good point. Anyway, but thanks to Naki, what we'll be getting into is some Puzzle Fighter. So yay! Other than that, I didn't really watch any new movies, so I'll think of something.
All right, then. Well, guys, I think that is going to wrap us up for this week, then. A friendly reminder, there is a variety of content that streams on the Gonna Geek Network. If you want to watch it, head on over to geeks.live, the official streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. I believe the next thing that we'll be streaming is... I don't know. It might be Legends. It might be Legends of Shield at 1 p.m. Eastern, but I can't remember if they're recording tonight or not. So if they're not, then the next is 9 p.m. tonight is PopX Cast, and of course, feel free to drop on Geeks.live tomorrow, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, for the official GonnaGeek.com show. Yeah, SP just did correct me in the chat room. Legends of Shield at 1 p.m. Eastern. So 30 minutes from now, feel free to drop in there. But guys, you
Actually, he wrote Legends of Shield, which I don't know what show that is.
Yeah, close enough. You guys have any final thoughts for us as we wrap things up? That seems.
I would say shield, like you're shilling stuff.
Like they shield stuff.
Sans
like
Willie's bald taint.
What?
It's in the chat room.
SP said
What?
there will not be any talk of Willie's bald taint on the show.
Why do you assume my taint is bald?
You should have been reading the chat room earlier. They were all talking about your taint because they're a bunch of fucking weirdos.
My taint's got a follow, and I'm gonna go with it.
Oh God! Please don't make a Facebook page.
Do it. You ain't real. You won't do it.
For those not watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., though, it's back and the show's fucking awesome. Quake
Final
gotta
thought:
kick
the
some
MCU
ass.
movie in 2018 will be Black Panther.
Oh God! Thank God Logan Paul's not dating Chloe anymore.
Who?
Chloe Bennett, is that her name?
Chloe
Chloe
Bennett.
Bennett.
Ew,
Yeah.
they were dating?
Yes.
Oh, wait. She was dating
my
that
God.
idiot?
Yes. Oh my
thank
God,
God
someone-
she's single now.
Oh, I know.
Maybe she realized how much of a fucking idiot he is.
So you want to be Eskimo
Jesus.
Eskimo cousins with Logan Paul now?
Logan Paul?
It would be worth it.
Eskimo brothers.
It would
rather,
be worth
excuse
it.
me.
It would be worth it for Quake. Totally.
I mean,
Totally
Eskimo
worth it.
cousins. Is that where you just get a hand job only?
I meant to say Eskimo brothers. I apologize. That was a screw up.
Yeah, it's Eskimo Brothers.
I'm sorry.
I know, but I like what I said better.
Yeah, Cousins is just a hand job.
Yeah.
Ew,
Well-
why was she dating him?
Yeah, I'm
Because
kinda
they
miffed
did the
by it.
remake of Valley Girl together.
But
Naki,
she's
you were
still-
young once. Weren't you stupid
now,
too?
now that I remember that.
In your
I was-
younger days, like everyone else.
I was a different kind of stupid.
Yeah, well,
Didn't you
she's
date
Hollywood
some people
stupid.
you
so-
shouldn't have.
Yeah, she's Hollywood stupid. Give her a break.
I mean, it
I
did end
have
with
to
me
bring up
getting shot.
your shed.
I did get shot in the leg, and my shed got burned down. So,
Yeah.
I mean, dating bad people is in my repertoire.
Stargate, you ain't dating her. Shut the fuck up.
Willie, you sound a little jealous there.
No, I just state facts.
Okay.
Black Panther will probably be the best MCU movie. Yes, I agree. Angel Guard.
It's got to
Infinity
contend
War,
with
that's-
Avengers 4.
That
though.
was
I know,
Yeah,
but it
that
was.
wasn't coming out. I would agree, but I was like, this has been building up for how many years now?
But the thing is
And-
that they're not. I feel like they're not promoting Black Panther as much as they should be.
Of course not. It's a bunch of black actors.
That's true.
Well, I think they're
But I'm
also...
fucking excited because Michael B. Jordan's in it, and Eric Killmonger is going to be fucking awesome.
Well,
I mean, I don't think that's the reason. I think it's
Oh, it is.
Their advertising has to go for the fucking. You can't avoid Infinity War, man. You just can't.
No, it's
They
more
need to
of-
advertise the next
Wait.
Avengers film.
Hold
really?
on. That's not what it is. It's the fact that, I don't know, Disney owns Star Wars, and Star Wars is out right now. Wait until Star Wars starts to trickle out. Then the Black Panther marketing blitz will start. It's the same thing we said with Justice League and Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever it was too. There's too many other things going on, so you got to wait until the one craze dies down to start. The
Yeah,
next
it
one.
was Guardians into Thor, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it. And then it was Thor and the Justice
Disney
League.
had nothing. Yeah, they had nothing for Thor coming out until Guardians cleared out of the theater, and then the Thor marketing campaign kicked in like crazy.
So
Yeah, they still
Yeah,
didn't really market Wonder Woman though either. That wasn't Disney, but
That
that was.
Yeah,
Disney.
that's just DC being stupid.
So
I still haven't seen that movie
I
yet.
honestly think what it is now is they're waiting for the Star Wars stuff to trend down a little bit, and then people get ready for the next thing, and then they'll start ramping up the Black Panther stuff. Let's be honest, the MCU is good at advertising the crap out of everything it did. Did you really think Ant-Man would get advertised as much as it did?
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then the miniature signs were so cool.
So, guys, I think that is going to wrap us up, but don't worry. We'll be back next week live, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, over on Geeks.live and all of the other Twitch and Mixer channels. So until then, bye, guys.
Bye.
How much torque do you need to tear off a child's
Thanks
arm?
for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.